Hey, that could have been loud, but who cares, right? Hi, long time no see, everyone. Or not very. It was just 2 days, right? Oh well. Yay! Podcast. Podcast time. And as you can see, not that I'm ready too much, but I'm here, and that's what matters. And I don't even go first. Hope your day has been going great, and if I unmute the other people, hope everything's good. Yeah, I should be trying doing some emotes, but we'll see. Hi, Max. Oh, wait.
Going.
There we go.
I
Oh, we're
I'm
here now.
We be
Yay.
here.
How is it going?
For a Monday, pretty good.
It is a Monday. You didn't need to remind me.
I have to remind myself.
That is fair. Yes, it is a
Yep.
Monday. But Mondays are happy days because Mondays mean that we can talk about interesting stuff amongst one another. We like these. What are we doing
We do.
today?
Talking.
About food.
Food! Now that is my jam.
Yes.
Sorry, guys, I was thinking about it all day. No, I wasn't. I kind of was. Guys, have you ever followed any diets? And if so, what were they and what effect did they have on you?
So perhaps since I don't have too much on this, I should start, right?
Sure.
Basically, not that I've followed actually too many diets throughout my life. There was one time when I wanted to lose some weight, and I suppose what I did at that time was that one diet where you are allowed to eat everything up to like 12 p.m. and then afterwards you don't eat like too much sugar, etc. I think I did lose some weight that I suppose I quit, so nothing too interesting about that. And then I suppose right now I'm also like vegan, so that's that. Haven't damaged myself with that yet.
You can. I'll be talking about that. I was following a similar thing once. The diet was called intermittent fasting, and basically you can eat anything as long as it is within a certain time. So basically, the idea is you have, let's say, 8 hours in which you're allowed to eat, and then you have 16 hours in which you are not allowed to eat. If you want to be a bit less strict about it, you can extend it to 10 hours in which you are allowed to eat, and then 14 hours in which you aren't. Obviously, you sleep through 8 hours of that 14 hours, so it's not that bad. I've met people that have had success with intermittent fasting. Apparently, the science behind it is that your body gets used to the rhythm of it, and then it spreads your sugars throughout the day, as opposed to just using them as you go. So you're meant to have more energy for longer. I didn't feel any of that. None. And I was quite strict with it. And I've done it for, I think, 2 months. And I just realized that nothing really has changed when it comes to my energy levels or anything else. So I just stopped because it didn't work for me.
I see.
I mean, my thing was so much worse. It was a dumb thing to begin with. So throughout high school, it wasn't a diet necessarily that I intentionally followed, but basically I was eating 1 meal a day, which is a known diet, but it was not intentional. The food in school, while edible, right, the school cafeteria was very small. So whatever food they were cooking would release its smells and just do its thing throughout the whole cafeteria, which was more than nauseating to a lot of people.
Mm.
And because of that, I really didn't eat lunch or breakfast. Which isn't that bad, right? Because I get out of school like at 4 p.m. and then just get home and eat at dinner, right? Where issues happen is that I would have weight training throughout the day, and then sometimes I would also stay after school to do some more of that. And that's where I really did some harm to myself. I did lose a lot of weight though, because obviously I wasn't eating anything and working out twice a day. But there was consequences, obviously. Not severe consequences, but I eventually had to be like, okay, I need to fix myself up here.
Boy, that's
So yeah,
tough. That's really
don't do
bad.
that.
Yeah,
Don't
no.
just in general, don't do that. Not even the once a day meal thing,
No.
because hunger. Well, you would imagine, right? Uh, Smelling all that food and stuff, you would get really hungry, but it comes in waves, right? Once you survive and bear through the highest peak of that wave of hunger, you are fine. It's almost like it never happened.
Yes.
Not a good thing to ignore it though. Don't
No.
ignore your body.
What were the consequences, if you don't mind sharing?
Uh,
Did you just like faint at some point?
I was very close. Some afternoons waiting for the bus, like it was bad, right? It was super bad. And I did suspect I was maybe deficient in some things at some points, because I would pretty much beg my parents to make me like a stew or something once a week, to make up for all the nutrients that I wasn't getting, right? Because I would sometimes crave specific things. Like sometimes I would crave salt. I would crave vegetables even, which
Oh, imagine that.
yeah, it sounds like a wild thing, but if your body's asking for something very specific, uh, it's not normal.
Yes, precisely. Yeah, I do get that sometimes as well. Actually, sometimes I and my fiance as well. Sometimes we just in a very very big mood for a salad, just a simple salad, just a bunch of vegetables,
Right.
tomatoes or tomatoes, cucumbers, some spinach. Yeah, so I do get what you're saying. Yeah, that's quite bad.
Yeah.
That's quite bad.
But yeah, luckily nothing bad happened. No accidents. No fainting during exercise, which would have been the worst.
Why?
I suppose I did have some effects of malnutrition while being vegan, and that's because I didn't take care of it. I will talk about diet. Actually, yeah, I can talk about it in a minute. That is actually my subject today, believe it or not. Being vegan for a year and talking about food, might as well talk about vegan food, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just as a disclaimer before everybody leaves, um, I'm not here to convert anyone. I'm just gonna talk about what I eat, what are some misconceptions regarding vegan diets. You do whatever you want. Your body, your choice, and all that. I'm just here to talk about my experience. So first, I do come across people that are interested in conversation, not always constructive conversation. Sometimes they just want to joke around. But the questions I do get often, one of the first questions I get is why? Why would anyone want to choose a vegan diet? Well, I personally have my choices for being vegan in general. I suppose I'll talk through them first. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Those conversations aren't very pleasant, and I don't think I'm in the mood for unpleasant stuff on a Monday. So, my three reasons for it is, first of all, and the reason that got me to veganism first was the environmental impact of meat industry. Basically, to create the same amount of protein from a cow, it takes a much more land, water, and it creates much more pollution than getting the same amount of protein from plants. And you gotta think, why is that? Basically, you gotta feed the cows with plants. We use those fields for that. Whether that'll be pastures or farmland, we could be using that land for food for ourselves. Simple as. Also, they consume a lot of water. Also, they produce what do you call them? The gases, the greenhouse gases. There we go.
Yes.
So it's very bad for the environment, generally speaking. Same goes for dairy because they also use cows. Not as much for chicken farms, egg farms, but there's an impact of that as well. There's still the land usage. Second reason is quite obvious for the animals, for the animal rights. They are sentient beings just like ourselves. They should be treated bearing that sentience in mind. And third reason is actually very topical nowadays. When you cram a lot of living organisms together, especially a lot of living organisms of the same kind, there will be a lot of bacteria, viruses, etc., that will be able to multiply very, very, very fast in those environments. Basically, if a virus goes into a chicken farm, that virus will spread like a wildfire, will have a lot of opportunities to mutate. And one of those mutations might be its ability to transfer it onto humans, therefore infecting us. This is where the mad cow disease comes from. This is where the bird flu comes from. This is where nowadays COVID comes from as well. It comes from an animal, comes from a bat. So pandemic prevention is the third reason for vegan diets. The less of the animals in close spaces together, the lesser chances of a mutation. So that's why. Basically, those are my three reasons. You can go further beyond that and say that because vegan diet doesn't contain any animal products, it also doesn't contain any saturated fats, and that is also very good for your general health. But if you do choose to follow a vegan diet, where do you get your proteins from? Because as we know, proteins come from meat, right? Or eggs. Well, actually, not quite. I mean, yes, of course. But I was very surprised because I did research the amounts of protein you get from a meat product and the amount of protein you get from a plant. And I was very, very, very surprised. So let's look at some numbers. Where is my trusty page? Somewhere. Oh, very organized, aren't I? Here. So first of all, let's have a look at how much protein we get from meat. So from beef, in 100 grams of meat, of beef, you would get about 26 grams of protein. It's about a quarter.
Wait,
Same
really?
goes for... Yes, I know. In 100 grams of meat, you get about 26 grams of protein. Yeah, that goes for beef. What about poultry? In 100 grams of poultry, which is birds, you get 11 grams of protein, according to Google. Now, let's have a look at some protein that are in plants, or what I eat, generally speaking. We've got potatoes. Potatoes have 2.5 grams in 100 grams. Impressive? Not so much, is it? One thing to note is that every plant has protein in it. So if you eat only plants, then every single thing you eat will have protein in it. Every single bit. So we go from 2.5 grams per 100 grams in potatoes. Not very impressive. Some of the low protein stuff also includes quinoa, kidney beans, beans in general, peas. They will go up to about 7 grams per 100 grams. The real good stuff starts from soy. Of course, we know soy. Soybeans will contain 13 grams. That's raw soybeans will contain 13 grams of protein, which is more than poultry. Walnuts contain 15 grams of protein. Cashew nuts, which are my favorite but super, super expensive, 15 grams as well. Oats, 16 grams. Tofu, 17 grams. Flaxseed, 19 grams. We're going up and up and up. And we go up to peanut butter. You eat peanut butter?
Yep.
Of course, peanut butter
Yep.
is amazing. Yeah, there you go. It has 25 grams of protein in it.
Yep.
Just as
Can
much
confirm.
as beef. Just as much as beef. The biggest one is pumpkin seeds, which contain 33 grams of protein. That's more than any meat will give you. Pumpkin seeds. I asked that same question when I became vegan a year ago. I asked that same question, where do I get my protein from, in a Facebook group. Basically, a vegan group for the city I'm from, which is Bristol. Well, I'm not from the city, I live in the city. And unanimously, the response I got was, just don't worry about it. Protein is just not something that you need to worry about. As long as you eat a balanced diet, it's just not something, you have to concern yourself with. One thing that you have to concern yourself with is vitamin B12, because that's something that is very rare to find in plants. So I do take a supplement for it. And I mentioned earlier that I did have a little mismanagement of my diet, and that is when I stopped taking that supplement. And I was feeling a bit dizzy, tired, basically B12 deficiency.
So B12 vitamin, would that be fish oil vitamins? Or is that a different thing?
B12? I'm not actually sure what B12 is found the most. B12.
The only thing I remember about B12 is that, like, humans can produce it, but we can't consume it from ourselves. Because it's, like, produced somewhere down the eating system.
Mm.
The digestive system. That's how it's called.
You get B12 from meat. Meat, fish, milk.
Gotcha.
So that's one thing you have to worry about. I will come back to B12 later, though. So basically, where do I get my protein from? Everything. Pretty much everything. The biggest sources that I personally eat, because I'm lazy, I eat a lot of oats. Oats are amazing. They have loads of protein. They have loads of fiber. Carbohydrates, which are complex, which means they take longer to digest them. I eat oats for breakfast like every other day. Because again, I'm lazy. I can just pour oats in, rolled oats, get some soy yogurt, and I'm good to go. I usually put some banana in there because I like it sweeter. Lentils are massive for me as well. Lentils, which only have about 9 grams of protein in them per 100 grams. Although lentils are so easy to make. You just add some boiled water and then you add whatever you want to it. I usually just chop onion, garlic, and a bit of chili, and that's it. And I have my meal. How much protein do you think white bread has? Wheat-based bread has in it? If you know, then don't say it.
Well, I will say after Chateau then.
Yeah.
I mean, if I remember correctly, it didn't have a significant amount unless I just didn't read.
It has almost 9 grams of protein per 100 grams, which is almost as much as poultry.
Mm-hmm.
So where do I get my protein from? Bread.
Bread.
rice, beans, lentils, chickpeas, peanut butter, tofu, everywhere. Protein is not a concern for vegans.
Mm.
Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to debunk where do you get your proteins from? Yeah. Next, the next thing, unless you want to add anything to the protein part.
Nope.
I suppose
Cool.
my minced soy is better than beef then.
Yeah, it might as well be, honestly.
Because
yeah.
it has 52 grams of protein per 100.
There you go. It's huge. Oh, actually, there is one thing I want to add. That's nutritional yeast. It may sound disgusting, but what it is yeast, basically type of fungus that has been specifically mutated to produce a lot of protein, and it's dried in like flaky, dry sort of powder, and you add that to anything really. It has this fairly nice earthy sort of taste. Many people use that instead of cheese, and I can kind of see it, kind of not. It doesn't quite work like cheese, but it does make things thicker. It does add this earthy sort of cheesy flavor. And nutritional yeast also has about 50%, 50 grams of protein per 100 grams.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's huge. Nutritional yeast is huge, and most nutritional yeast that we get here also is fortified with B12 vitamin. So that's one thing that it's our weakness. It's our kryptonite. Right.
Just something I can add about protein.
Yeah, go on.
While I was doing that thing, what's a meal thing, I was taking a protein supplement, which comes in a big powdered can.
Mm-hmm.
Which, regardless of that, I also dipped my toe into the market of protein bars,
Mm-hmm.
which are not relevant, I would say, because you really don't need that much protein. It's not worth buying a bar specifically of protein.
Mm-hmm. Precisely.
Because the amount it gives you in relation to the calories you're ingesting for that bar is just not worth it. So yeah, protein is not as big of a deal as it seems.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. There are vegan bodybuilders out there, and it's impressive what they can do. And they don't need milk, meat, anything. Just plant power, baby.
Plant power.
Plant power, baby. That's right. The next big question I get asked is, or rather, excuse I hear is, "Oh, vegan diet is expensive. It's so expensive. I couldn't do that. It's too expensive." And I've got two answers to that. Yes, if all you buy is pre-made meat alternative stuff, if this is all you eat, it's gonna be hella expensive. But so would be eating pre-made meal kits that are non-vegan. That's just not how people cook. Vegan diet is actually really, really cheap. If you look at the things that we just spoke of, oats, beans, rice, peanut butter. Peanut butter is a bit more expensive, but generally, all the whole foods that make up the basis of vegan diets are some of the cheapest things you can buy. So, I buy a 2 kilogram bag of oats once every, I don't know, 3-4 weeks, which costs me £2. Sometimes even £1, which is basically about $2. All right, cheap, and that lasts me for 4 weeks. Oats. Bread's cheap. Bread has protein. Bread has stuff. We eat bread all the time. We don't have to. I do because I like it. Well, I do eat nice, fancy sunflower seed bread, but that's beyond the point. All the whole food, vegan foods are some of the cheapest food per protein, per gram of protein, or per calorie you can get, especially like beans, lentils, and all that, and oats. Have you Shadow? Because you recently became vegan, right?
Yeah.
How does it look for your like family's finances?
I don't know. It's okay, I'd say.
Did you notice any significant change?
Nah. I mean,
Yeah,
like what? Vegan
like
milk is a bit more expensive than non-vegan one, but other than that,
I personally didn't notice any difference when it comes to my weekly shopping when I became vegan. There is one thing to say about vegan products, though, and that is the higher the demand, the cheaper the products will be. So back, let's say 2-3 years ago, all the vegan products that we had here were slightly more expensive than they are now, only because they were produced in smaller amounts. So now that they are more efficient about producing them because there is more demand for them, they can be cheaper. So over time, vegan, even the meat alternative stuff, will get cheaper over time as demand grows. One slightly infuriating comment I do get, and is basically most of the time a last resort for a lot of people that I discuss with, is, yeah, I mean, this vegan stuff, I mean, yeah, I get it, but bacon tastes so good. Oh, bacon tastes so nice. I mean, sure, maybe. But then what I usually say is, at what cost? What is the cost of that? And we go back to the reasons for vegan diets. But you know what? All is not lost. We do have stuff, because I did mention the vegan alternatives, and there are some. And there are some really good ones, at least in where I live in the southwest of England. So let's talk about that. What do we actually get? What can we get here? If you do want to get those flavors, if you do want to get those meals that you used to, what can you do? So, Shadow already mentioned soy mince. I know Chateau was a bit surprised about that. What it basically is soy beans that have been grounded and made into a powder, or maybe not a powder, like it has little chunks in it. What you usually do with that is you add water to it, and then you just use it as you would use any minced meat.
or you can be lazy and eat it raw, or not raw, dry.
I never tried that. That's weird. We don't do that here.
We don't do that.
we don't do that. We don't do that where I'm from. I mean, I might try. It doesn't smell that bad, actually.
It smells?
Oh, is that the concern?
Like, smell is a big part of the taste, right? So if it doesn't smell too bad, then perhaps it doesn't taste too bad either. I don't know. Yes, yeah. What I get as well is frozen mince, which is already hydrated. It's just frozen, so you take it from the freezer and you add it to whatever. So I make one of the lazy things I do, because I'm lazy, if you didn't get, when it comes to cooking. I make spaghetti, as opposed, you would say, bolognese. It's the actual name of the dish is ragu, but whatever. It's basically pasta with tomato sauce, some onions, garlic in it, and the mince. You can make a lot of stuff with that. Like, just think any meal that requires minced meat, you can make it with that. Burgers are a thing as well. So there's a lot of burgers made with soy and other things that will resemble, I suppose, meat burgers. But there's also a lot of burgers that don't try to resemble meat, that are its own thing. So, like, one of my favorite things one of my favorite burgers is called a spicy bean burger, which I buy from my local shop. It's basically just think Mexican flavors in a burger. That's what I get. You got loads of different choices when it comes to that. Oh yeah, she got it. Yeah, Shadow is currently showing, if you're watching her stream. Oh no, she's gonna eat it. Oh, disgusting. Sausages. Sausages are huge for me, actually. There is a company in UK, and I have no troubles naming it because it's so good. So it's called Richmond's. Company called Richmond's. They make sausages, but also other things. Meat sausages. But recently, and by recently I mean about a year and a half ago, they released a vegan sausage, and it's the best sausage you can get in UK when it comes to vegan stuff. I can vouch for it day and night. It tastes exactly the same as a meat sausage would, and you can use it in exactly the same way for anything you like. So I just have them for breakfast most of the time. They are sublime. Like, you couldn't tell the difference. I do have a story, actually, about an encounter I had. So about a year ago in the summer, just after I became vegan, my mother-in-law, she visited us in UK, and there is a chain of, I suppose, bakeries, but they're not bakeries. They make like sausage rolls and donuts and stuff, like breakfast items. So they have released, it's called Greg's, and I can vouch for them as well. They have released vegan sausage rolls. I don't know if sausage rolls are popular wherever you are. It's basically a sausage in breaded sausage sort of thing. Not breaded sausage. Sausage in like a bap, not a bap. It's just bread around the sausage.
It's popular here.
Oh, so
yeah,
they're called kolaches here in America. Very American sounding as well.
It's just a sausage roll. Sausage
Basically,
roll.
Yeah. Pretty good.
So yeah, pretty good. And Greg's, that chain, has released a vegan sausage roll, and we wanted to see if a meat eater would be able to distinguish between a normal sausage and a vegan sausage. So we bought my mother-in-law vegan sausages. We didn't say anything. She expected regular sausages. She ate them all. I say them all, the two of them. She ate them too. And then a few hours later, I asked, so was there anything different about those sausages? Sausage rolls? No, regular sausage rolls. That's what I thought. Yeah, she couldn't tell the difference, and I couldn't tell the difference either. It just tastes like regular sausage roll. They also have released another vegan. I don't know what to call it. It's not a sandwich. They call it steak slice. So again, bread, steak-ish, but like cat steak with some like gravy and stuff, some onion and bread, right? And that's baked. That also tastes phenomenal, and you couldn't tell the difference. You wouldn't know if it's vegan because it tastes so alike to the meat version. What else do we have? So obviously, yogurts. We have a lot of yogurts. We have, I suppose, plant-based milks are a thing. Technically, you're not supposed to call them milk.
Of my soy.
Whatever. Who cares? There is some issues when it comes to vegan milk alternatives. There is a very good video from Earthling. I can never say that. Earthling Ed about problems with that, and that is mostly the way they've been produced and the land they use. But you can make your own oat milk at home. It's actually very simple. Beyond that, what I eat a lot is soya yogurt, soy-based yogurts, and I've actually been eating them even before I was vegan. because I prefer the flavor of them, the flavor and the lightness of them. Regular yogurts, regular milk-based, not just yogurts, but cream as well. It always felt a bit heavy after I ate it. Vegan yogurts didn't have that, so I just started eating them instead of milk-based ones. Butter as well. I wasn't even. I was 1 day old when I was eating vegan butter. Well, I wasn't, but my family always had sunflower butter instead of regular butter, and I just got accustomed to the flavor, and I prefer it over regular butter. So even though I wasn't vegan or vegetarian, I would still eat, I suppose, vegan butter. It's called margarine. I suppose that's the category. There's a lot. Basically, there's a lot. And going from non-vegan diet to vegan diet may not be that easy because there is a lot of, I suppose, habits they have that will have to be changed. But it's not as hard as people say. It's not as expensive as people say. It's not. There isn't really an issue with protein, and we do have stuff that tastes like bacon. So, all good, not much bad. Well, there is one bad. Take B12. Do you have any other questions that you might have?
What
Do you
about
have a
iron?
question that you might have? What about iron? So
Beans.
spinach. Spinach is a big source. Spinach and any other dark green leafy vegetables, like kale, for example. That's where iron is from. But I do know a lot of vegans do take iron supplements because they're lazy.
Mm.
Okay, that's it then.
Yep,
I can say
believe
that
so.
my cat approves of soy. If you haven't seen it. Right now. What I mean by that is, cats actually like this minced soy thing. Both of
Yeah?
them. Yeah, they just sniff it and then eat it. Right now, they both gathered at a piece that had fallen on the floor. But it's too big for them to eat. They're both trying to eat it at the same time.
Right, so I guess my subject is next. So what I wanted to talk about was sort of what growing up in America was like, or at least in sort of a Tex-Mex sort of region where I am really stuck between both Mexican cuisine and American traditional food, which are actually both very unhealthy. And wanted to talk about like sort of how I've really had to work to move away from traditions that overlap between both American food and Mexican food. So, to begin with, we all know traditional America. We got McDonald's, we got pizza places, we got all sorts of fast food. And a big part of that is soda and just how unhealthy it is. And with every fast food meal, generally you would order a soda with it. And I would say that was the biggest thing to move away from in terms of becoming healthier. Because taking a look at, let's say, menus from any burger place or a pizza place, it's not that unhealthy. In moderation, everything in moderation. It's just that the way portions are presented isn't the best. For example, fries, or large fries from McDonald's, have around anywhere between 200 and 500 calories, 500 being the highest. And for reference, that would be a meal by itself, just the fries. Except with your order also comes a burger and the drink, which may also be large. And that is a portion that is sort of served to you. Because if they would really limit portions, they would give you no fries and no drink either. The burger by itself would be the meal.
So small as well.
Small as well.
It looks small,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. But it's just so many calories, so unhealthy. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like it might not be super unhealthy in moderation, but just the way portions are presented to you, even with snacks, right? Some snacks, even if you follow the recommended amount, which most people don't, is too many calories for a snack. Like it comes close to a meal by itself, and that's where I would say the unhealthiest part of it comes from. But for Mexican food, it is not much better because we also have a thing with soda where it has to come with almost every meal. And I'll actually post, before I mention any of these, a list of foods that we consume if if not yearly, like every few months or so. I'll also post it in chat. I'll be mentioning these one by one. So, some of these that you might recognize, tamales. They are made with lard more than anything. Regardless of the contents, whether it be vegetable, meat, chicken, the dough itself, the, f- the flour comes with lard or some kind of animal fat, which isn't the healthiest. Like even if you eat the proper portion, which is probably two, if anything, it's still very bad for you. And these tamales specifically are usually towards the end of the year for holidays, for Christmas and stuff. So it's sort of difficult to escape it as well. With the next one, gorditas, basically the same thing, just a container for food, a flour sort of pastry-like container for food, and that is also made with lard, animal fat. Which this one isn't very seasonal. It's more about whenever it's cold, right? Whenever it's cold, you make this food. It's a comfort food. For pozole, it's very similar to the one right below. Well, the one below that one. So pozole and menudo, both are very like soupy foods. They're like stews and soup, and those are also eaten during the cold and sometimes even for breakfast. They are not necessarily made with lard, but the meats that are usually used are very high in fat, which isn't very healthy. And because of the flavor profile of these, it's very savory. It's very strong flavors. They also are usually accompanied with soda. Uh, Another one is barbacoa, which is traditionally it's either cheek or tongue.
Ew.
Beef, yeah, not the most appetizing. Uh, but when you purchase it, it comes with quite a bit of animal fat as well. Like you can visibly see it. And nowadays they do make an effort to give you less of it, but it's still very unhealthy just because of that. And believe it or not, that's a breakfast food.
Oh my.
Also with soda.
Wait, you get soda
And
for breakfast?
yeah, this is the exception because a lot of these are very like powerful foods for the morning, and because of that, it It's usually accompanied by soda, unfortunately. Another one I wanted to mention was chilaquiles, which is basically corn tortillas chopped up. You fry them a little bit and then just put like cheese, sour cream, a bunch of stuff on it. As you can imagine, not the healthiest of foods, especially for breakfast, which this is pretty much breakfast sometimes. I don't, I didn't grow up with this, but I know it's a big part of Mexican food in other families. But yeah, also accompanied by soda. And pretty much any food that contains meat will be followed up with rice. I don't know what it is, but like just anything that contains meat will be followed up with rice. And the rice isn't usually that bad. It's usually made with like not even beef stock. We use bouillon cubes quite a bit. More tomato than beef or chicken stock usually. But yeah, basically, what I wanted to say was among all these foods, right? The hardest part is removing the association between these foods and soda, because soda by itself is just a big deal. Like the moment I removed soda from my life, I lost so much weight. Like obviously it comes with eating healthier, but removing soda from your life by itself would do wonders. And so every time you have these foods, which as you can imagine are hard to escape because you make these seasonally or whenever it gets cold, which happens several times a year, or even when family comes over. These are foods you cannot escape. Because the association with like soda or something sweet to drink is so strong, that's the biggest thing to cut out. And yeah, even moving away from these foods, uh, it's just been rough to try to lead a more healthy eating habit when you're sort of stuck between the tradition of, you know, everything's bigger in Texas, have
Mommy
bigger
Shadow, hello.
portions, and also the Mexican lifestyle of having
Love,
these
love,
very
love,
savory,
jelly
very
underscore loaf.
hearty
This is daily
foods,
reminder that you are
which
wonderful and
are very bad
appreciated.
for you.
Love, love, love.
So what was your solution then?
Well, the biggest
Hi, Jelly,
solution for
welcome in.
soda, which
I
isn't
hope your day's
too
going
much
great.
better, but it does make a huge difference. Sparkling water is a godsend. There's been like some research about like how the artificial sweetening, whatever they use to make it sweet,
Woo-woo.
is like could be carcinogenic
Ow.
potentially. But like,
Oh.
if you were to compare it, they would sell these huge, like
UWU.
20-ounce bottles for $1 or something,
UWU.
and it was honestly more water than
Ow.
whatever flavoring they put in there. There was just a huge portion of water that would replace
UWU.
the feeling and possibly the taste of whatever sugary drink you might want. But yeah, sparkling water is huge. Now, because it is sort of a replacement, you do eventually want to move away from that as well. But in the meantime, it will make a huge difference.
Yeah. How much sugar do you get in a regular soda sort of serving?
More than 30 grams, I would say.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And
That's
fruit
absolutely
juices are no
ridiculous.
better.
Yeah.
Any fruit juice is no better. They're just not okay.
Yeah, I agree.
There is dope of them.
Yeah, there was a guy I used to watch. You may know him. He's called Captain Sparkles. He's famous
Yes.
for Minecraft. Yeah, he started working out at some point, and then he
I
basically
was
said,
there for that.
"You were there for that. There you go."
Yeah.
He did say that if you want to have 30 grams of sugar, would you rather have a cup of whatever soda, or would you rather have a cake?
Yep.
It's a no-brainer, you know. If you really want 30 grams of sugar, soda is just a waste of calories in general.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like just how much calories goes into things. More to the American side, right? Because when it comes to homemade food, you don't exactly know like how much calories goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking at like serving sizes and calories in relation, like a lot of the calories are not worth it for what you're eating.
Yeah.
Like you're sacrificing a whole meal for this couple of Oreos.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Oh, by the way, Oreos are vegan, at least in UK. Don't know,
Oreos
random.
are pog.
Oreos are pog.
Yes. No, but yeah, the biggest thing about like just trying to eat healthier is just try to keep track of more than anything calories if you can. And if you know something that's really bad goes into the food that you traditionally eat, like in my case, it was animal fat, lard, just try to eat a lot less of it.
Yeah, and guess what? Perhaps replacing that with some vegetarian, vegan alternatives might make it less bad because of lack of saturated fats.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, keep track of calories, not necessarily obsessively with every meal, but just think that if you're snacking on chips or something, like sometimes even with chips, it'll say like 12 chips or something is the portion size. Most people don't eat that much. Most people eat more than that. And so you have to
Yeah.
consider if the calories are worth it compared to like a meal,
So,
proper meal.
do you know how many calories a regular human should consume in a day?
I mean, I think the average is 2,000, but that does change based on like height, weight, how much activity you do, etc.
And how many calories did you say a meal in McDonald's is, or any other fast food restaurant?
I
You
would
said
say
that
close. Fries themselves are like up to 500. With the burger and soda, I would say they go up to like 5,000, another 500, so it would be like 1,000 or something.
1,000. So
1,000
that's
calories?
half of your daily calories intake.
About, pretty much.
Imagine.
And it's a trap, it really is, because it's not really a proper meal. Like the soda fills you up, it's not a proper meal. So then you get hungry later, and you want to have a normal meal, you cannot, because you already used 1,000 of your calories. And a normal meal would mean a little over that, maybe.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, calories do be a thing.
Eat peanut butter. That'll
Oh,
make you
peanut butter. It's amazing.
just pure peanut butter.
Yeah,
It does
just a
have a lot
diet
of
of
fat.
yeah.
Keep in
Unless
mind.
you have the allergy.
Oh, true. But sunflower butter, though. Sun butter.
Sun butter?
Sunflower.
That's what it's called.
Did somebody milk sun finally?
Yes.
Yeah.
Praise the sun.
Oh no. Let's go. Dark Souls reference.
Yes.
Yeah. But then you see sunflower butter, when I think about that, I'm just thinking it replaces cow's butter. Peanut butter is a separate thing to me.
Hmm.
So I know it may be a heresy, but when I make a peanut butter and jam sandwich, or peanut butter and jelly for you Americans,
Yes.
I put a sunflower butter first, then a massive amount of peanut butter, and then jam or jelly on top of it. So I use both.
So you have both on the
I
same
have
thing?
both. Yeah. It's usually
Interesting.
just a thin layer of sunflower butter because I don't know, I'm just used to it. Like whenever I have a bread, I need to put sunflower butter on it. It's just a no-brainer.
Both, though?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well,
I don't think I could
um,
have both. I think it would be too buttery for me. Too much butter.
I do like my butter.
It would be too powerful for my taste
Mm.
buds.
Yeah, I think I don't want to plug veganism too much, but a vegan diet might help you
Hmm.
when it comes to if you're stuck between them two, just reject. No,
Reject meat. Return to vegetable.
abort. Yeah. But just use soy mince instead of beef in one of the dishes. That's already a massive improvement. Use sunflower butter instead of lard. Bam.
Wait, excuse me?
Whoa.
I don't know if that's how you do that.
It does work. There's a lot of cakes and stuff that use margarine. Which
Oh,
is
Jesus. I'm thinking of Jesus. Okay. I'm thinking of a different thing. Because
You're
sunflower
thinking of the
butter,
oil?
yeah, to me, sunflower butter is like peanut butter replacement, essentially.
oh no. I'm talking like
You're talking about like butter.
milk butter replacement, yeah, margarine.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute.
Tell you what, almond butter is a thing, which is similar to peanut butter.
Mm.
I
Almond milk is a
don't
thing.
Yeah. I don't like using almonds too much because they're not that good for the environment.
Yeah, I've heard. That
Um
takes, what was it,
as
gallons of water for a single
Yeah, it takes a lot.
almond?
So like in
Yep.
places like California where droughts are a thing, almonds just shouldn't be grown at all. Europe is a bit better for that. Europe is a bit more humid than California, and unfortunately, a lot of almonds are grown in California because they are insane.
Yep.
Yeah. So it depends where you get them from. Well, one thing I'm very jealous of because of your placement, you have access to avocados.
Mm, sure.
Like, you live very close to where they've been produced, like few countries across.
Yeah. We
Um,
don't pay extra for guac. We are the
yeah,
guac.
there you go. To get avocados to Europe, that's a whole, massive shipping container, or rather,
Mm,
hundreds of them. And that's why I just don't eat avocados because I know how much of the environmental impact it has.
right.
So I'm jealous of avocados. Basically, guacamole is the best.
And we actually don't use it that much, honestly.
You don't? Well, I would because
No.
I love it. I love the flavors of it. Avocado, lime, few bits, few spices. Oh my god, it's the best.
We make what is called pico de gallo, which is essentially chop up onions, tomato, and peppers. Yeah, peppers. And
Nice, like a salsa.
well, we don't use it like a salsa. We keep it like whole, and we use it as a dip. And sometimes we put avocado in there, and then it becomes even more of a dip. But the avocado isn't always the healthiest. It's
Yeah, that as well.
pretty high in fat. But yeah, but
Yeah.
it's basically just vegetables. And we use it as a dip. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll be surprised how many things you eat are vegan.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be surprised how many things you already eat are vegan.
Or at least they could be vegan if only lard wasn't introduced to everything. Because my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. But then the dipping thing you just described, that sounds vegan to me.
Hmm.
So is guacamole.
Yeah, because it's just an avocado.
Yeah, so is bread.
Right.
I do apologize for inserting veganism again, but I do get people saying, "Oh, I would never eat this vegan shit," and I'm like, "Have you ever eaten bread? Have you ever eaten an apple?
Have you ever eaten?
Have you ever eaten?" Yeah,
Just in general, have you ever eaten?
yeah. Just have you ever?
Have you ever? That's the
Yeah,
game, right?
Yeah.
There's like
truth or dare?
nah. There's a game
No,
I
yeah,
have never.
No, I think the game
yeah,
is
that's the
called
one.
Never Have I Ever. Yeah, Never Have I Ever.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. Rightio. Are we going on to a stupid article now?
We could.
No, a
Uh,
funny article.
Arguably the best part of the podcast.
Nah, no argument.
A
Oh
disgusting article.
no.
Because I searched out some weird foods. The 50
Awesome.
weirdest foods from around the world. And they're gonna
Heck
be
yeah.
disgusting. You ready?
Do I have a bowl to puke into?
I don't know.
I have a glass. Does that work? Right. Anyway, let's go.
Should I? Where's my thing? Why is it not here? BM? Perhaps I should actually be showing some stuff on stream, right? Okay.
By the way, Shadow, your cats are absolutely adorable.
Right now they're running around playing with each other. So if you see something in the background, just run from one corner to the other. Those are cats. They're playing. They're chasing each other.
Are you sure you're not haunted by ghosts of
Cat ghost?
past, present, and future? Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, they only do this sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
they're still making demon sounds. So, I have this article, the 50 weirdest foods from around the world.
Let's hear it.
Let's go. Number 1, chicken's feet. East Asia,
Yeah.
Caribbean, South America, and South Africa.
Sounds about right.
There is more, because Poland and Russia, I'm pretty sure, also uses chicken's feet, but they put them in jelly and serve it cold.
Oh, the freaking thing. I'm pretty sure there is the cold jelly. In Russia, at least, I'm pretty sure it's made with, like, pig stuff.
Well, in Poland, they make it with
But
chicken
I'm not
feet as
sure.
well.
I don't eat that.
Bro, that's just
You know
gross.
what's interesting? I think they use I think pig's feet or chicken's feet or both in stews, soups, broth to make it jelly-like after it's done because of something that it has in it. But yeah, that's how you store it better. You put a
Would you
thing in there.
rather boil a chicken feet to make it a jelly, or would you rather boil a bit of seaweed to make a jelly? What's more gross?
They
Anyway,
both work?
yeah.
No, yeah. Actually, go into that.
Agar is the
I'm
thing.
interested.
Agar is
Yeah.
is made from seaweed, and it's used as a gelling agent. Pectin
Oh,
is a thing, which is the most common vegan jelly, and I'm not quite sure where it's made from, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and the gelatin that's used, like, everywhere, I'm pretty sure it's made from animal bones or something.
Yeah. Would you rather boil animal bones, or would you rather get some seaweed? Or pectin comes from fruits and vegetables. There you go.
mm.
It can be extracted from citrus fruit peel, apple pomace, sugar beet, sunflower heads. So there is vegan ways of making, or rather, there is not gross ways of getting jelly.
Yeah, because it is gross.
Yeah.
It genuinely is.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, the jams I buy from the market, it uses pectin.
Yeah.
Mm.
Same in UK. Most
So-
jams nowadays use pectin.
The next food on this list is haggis from Scotland.
Haggis.
Haggis.
A sheep's
It's-
heart, liver, and
yeah.
lungs, minced and
Mhm.
mixed with onions, oatmeal, and seasoned with salt and spices, cooked inside the
Mhm.
animal's stomach.
Yep. A very
will
important
say-
part.
You have
Yeah.
to appreciate cultures that make it a point to not waste any part of the animal.
Yes. I agree.
At least.
I
Well,
agree.
there is some stuff on the list. I don't know if you'll say the same thing about that.
However, grossness.
I haven't gone too deep into this, so this will be a surprise for me as well.
Tell you what, I did have haggis. I've had haggis before I was vegan. I've had haggis.
Mm.
And it's alright. Nothing
Yeah.
special.
So here, the next thing is it red tripe? Perhaps. All over the world. The stomach lining of various animals with a sponge-like honeycomb texture.
Oh, we use
Bruh.
it for menudo.
Bruh.
It's man, it's not worth it. It just tastes like meat. It's like not special for what it is.
Bruh. Just bruh.
Yeah. Does look nice though.
You look nice as well. I wouldn't eat you though.
Good point. I disagree though. I would
To
eat
be
you.
fair, two of
Oh.
you, your little avatars are desserts.
Yeah, I would eat you.
Oh wow. Would you eat me or would you eat me? Anyway.
Your calories aren't worth it.
Oh, what?
I had to go there.
Oh no. Ew.
Okay,
Ew, indeed.
next thing. Cash. Middle East is Europe in Turkey. A pretty gruesome little dish made up of stewed cow's feet and head.
Oh my god.
Okay, specifically feet and head?
Well, that's how
That's it.
the
That's
article.
strange.
That's what's written
Bruh.
here.
Will I get through this? Or will I just have to leave halfway through out of grossness?
Perhaps, but I can make you leave right now by reading this sentence, right? I'm sure it's fine, so long as you don't mind that grinning skull staring at you through its cold dead eyes.
Well, shoot.
Just okay. Just next.
Next, tuna eyeballs
Oh, that is a thing.
from
That's
Japan.
actually a thing. Yeah, that is actually a thing. But to tell you what, when it comes to tuna eyeballs, it makes you realize how huge tunas actually are.
Mm.
I thought tunas were tiny. No, tunas are massive. They are huge. Tuna is huge. Huge fish.
So should we move on next?
Yes, please. Fast.
We're on number 6, Max.
No,
Out of 50.
Okay,
Jesus.
dude. Okay, let's go.
Black pudding, blood sausage. Africa, Americas, Asia, Europe.
It's not as gross as it sounds.
I mean, it's just blood, I guess.
Yeah.
Blood is just one
Congealed
ingredient, but
blood
yeah.
cooked up with various natural flavorings.
In Poland, because there is quite a lot of black pudding in Poland, it's usually shaped as a sausage, and there's usually like pieces of liver, like chopped liver, in there as well.
Mm.
It's usually with rice or barley.
Gonna be honest, I feel like there's better use for that liver. Mixing it with a blood pudding doesn't sound like the best thing. The most appetizing.
The next thing this article gives us is spam from United States.
Chateau.
Tell you what,
The famous mystery meat. It's said that spam is made from chopped pork shoulder meat, ham and potato starch. But who knows what ends up in there?
yeah. We also have bologna and franks, I guess they would be called. Sausages, basically, but they're not actual sausages. They're like franks. Also mystery meat. Very similar. So yeah, spam is the lowest of the low. We don't do spam.
I tell you what, we're not at the end of the list yet. All right.
Are you gonna leave?
No. I'll
Okay.
survive.
How do I freaking read this word?
Hekarf.
Really?
Something like that. The A with 2 dots is usually like
But this is not that. It's
What is it?
It's like, can I even? Do I have that? I wonder. Yeah, this.
Cart. that thingy from Iceland. That's gross. Let's read what it is.
So, the rotting carcass of a Greenland or basking shark. It's buried underground in a shallow pit and pressed with stones so the poisonous internal fluids that allow it to live in such cold waters can be drained out, making the meat safe to eat. After this, it's hung out to dry before being cut into strips and served.
I will say, when it comes to fermented foods, fermented meats is one thing I'm not too sure about. Just
It's
no.
literally rotting carcass. Do you
Yeah, no.
ingest? Are you for real?
Like stinky plants, sure. But stinky meat? Like, excuse me? I'm not taking that risk.
What number is it?
9.
Was it?
Oh, the shark thing is number 8.
Oh my god. Oh, this fucking shit. I know this. PewDiePie. I know this from PewDiePie.
Yeah, c'est charming.
Stinky
Well-
fish. Stinky fish.
Baltic Sea herring, fermented with just enough salt used to prevent it from rotting. Mainly found tin in brine these days, when opened, it releases such a pungent aroma that it usually needs to be eaten outside.
Why? Just why? Why?
Because people are hungry and they will eat literally anything.
Actually, there's a channel. There's a food channel called Food History. And they talked about like some fermented fish sauce that like ancient Romans used to make or something. But yeah, it would smell up the whole village and it would only make like a small barrel. So yeah, fermented fish do be a thing.
Oh, this thing's gross. Century egg.
Mm.
Yeah, okay, it's neither a century nor a millennium old, but this egg is pretty rotten. After being preserved in a mixture of clay, ash, and quicklime for a few months, yellow turns a dark green or even black and slimy, while the white has turned to dark brown, translucent jelly. Apparently, it smells strongly of sulfur and ammonia, but tastes like a hard-boiled egg. Until you breathe out, that is.
So what is the point then? If it just tastes like a normal egg?
Why?
Because somebody forgot their egg in clay and they're hungry and they're like, oh no, guess I gotta eat this. Oh wow, this is. This is.
This is still egg.
Yeah.
I think I have an answer to many of our questions. And the answer is most of those things exist because people used to try to find ways to preserve food for later. And
Yeah.
that's why we have fermented fish. And that's why we have a century-old eggs. That's how sushi came to be as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Stingheads,
had- yeah.
Alaska, United States. The fermented head of a king salmon, buried underground for a few weeks and eaten as a pungent, putty like mush.
Man, they like burying stuff underground, huh?
Whoever came up with that idea needs to be buried as well.
I mean,
mean,
they
to be
will be
fair,
eventually,
They
probably.
probably are already.
Yeah.
Because they're probably like centuries old.
Well, depending which culture they lived in, but yeah.
Ah, good point.
I mean, I think Gordon Ramsay made an episode about like the bread that they bury underground in like an oven or something. So yeah, burying stuff
Shiohara.
underground would be a thing.
From Japan. Now this really does sound bad. A dish made of pieces of meat taken from a selection of sea creatures served in a browned, viscous paste of their own salted and fermented viscera? How do I read? Oh, I forgot to say it's all served raw.
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
that's a bit much.
Ooh,
Dude.
our first insect thing on the list. I bet. Oh yeah, here we go. We'll have some insects from now on. Jingleed, grasshoppers, from Thailand. So yes, this is a big old grasshopper seasoned with salt, pepper, powder, and chili and fried in a big wok. Tastes
chips.
a little like hollow popcorn skin, except a little juice squirts out when you bite into it.
Okay. I don't think that was necessary. Jesus.
Bro! Ugh.
And the next thing is also about insects, so suture
Awesome.
shells. Wasp crackers. From
They
Japan.
fry wasps?
Yep, you guessed it. It's a biscuit filled with wasps. Think chocolate chip cookies, only the insects replace the chalky chips.
How do they gather the wasps?
They
So they're just
scoop them.
spicy.
Yeah. Wasps
No.
are bitches, man. Try to catch a
Well,
wasp.
that's why they eat them, I suppose.
Ah, it's like revenge. On the reverse.
You bite me, I bite you.
I mean, pretty
Ew.
much. You bite into a stinger and it's suddenly a spicy cookie. Spicy cracker.
I think they do the same with bees, actually. I think I've seen an episode
But why?
on that. Exactly. Exactly.
Next on number 15, fried
Fried
spider.
spider.
From
Of
Cambodia.
course.
Fried
Cambodia.
spider is a regional delicacy popular in the Cambodian tower of Skuon. Prepared by marinating it in MSG, sugar, and salt, and then frying it in garlic. Apparently, it has more meat in it than a grasshopper, but also has brown sludge in the abdomen, which consists of mainly innards, eggs, and excrement.
Nice.
Yummy.
Mmm.
Tasty.
Mmm.
Yay.
Ooh, this looks
Jesus.
gross.
Nice. What is it?
With cherry grub. From Australia. Part of the Australian bushmeat family, this was another staple of indigenous Australians in the desert. Musha, please don't.
So what is it? A
Stuff.
bug?
These can either be eaten raw when it tastes like almonds or lightly cooked where its skin crisps like roast chicken and its inside take on the look and consistency of scrambled egg.
Wait,
What?
so we're going full circle. We're going from like meat replacements with plants to plant replacements with insects.
Oh my god.
That's so
You like-
interesting.
You like almonds? You eat this bug, mate.
Yep.
You like almonds? Would you like some of this? Dude, it's pretty much the same thing. It tastes the same. Don't worry.
Yeah, man. Hakuna Matata. Let's go.
No, Chateau, do you know how to read this?
Oh,
Max,
jeez.
since you're...
Escamol?
Escamal?
Escamal?
I don't
Mexico.
know. Probably.
Also known as insect caviar, this dish is made of the edible larvae and pupae of ants, harvested from the tequila or mescal plant. Considered something of a delicacy, it is said to have the consistency of cottage cheese and a buttery, nutty taste.
Chateau, I need an
You
explanation.
know, I'm looking at it. For how they make it sound, it does look like just a Mexican dish.
Bro.
Yeah, we just make stuff together.
Bro.
I haven't
Oh, and
had
then
it. Haven't heard of it.
Does
but
Robo know how to
I
say
believe
stuff?
it.
Oh my god.
So, ooh, this is looking gross.
Mm.
BNDG.
I see escargot.
Okay, I didn't know. The TTS just read it as Beyond the G, but I'm not. I don't think that's how it is. So Beyond Degi
Well, it's just cockroaches.
from South Korea. Lovely, lovely silkworm. Simply
Mm.
boiled or steamed and lightly seasoned, this is popular snack all over Korea and usually sold from street vendors. Apparently, it tastes like wood if you've ever tried wood.
Oh,
Odd question mark?
yeah. What? I mean, we know how wood smells like, so I suppose it tastes similarly.
Well, my cats, I think, know how wood tastes like because they've been chewing on this thing I have here.
I would know how wood tastes like, but I wouldn't dare to eat wood.
I would.
No, this is French. Why must this be French? How the heck can I read this?
I do have a French viewer now. I don't know if they're still in the chat. They might help. Oh my god. Oh, snails. It's just snails.
Yeah, escargot.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the first part. The
Oh, this-
last word is a doozy.
Allah. This is the and this part.
It's just
So,
Gucci snails.
so Allah means like it's like from like it's in the style of,
Yeah.
and that is a province, I suppose.
Cool. Snails cooked in a sauce of white wine, garlic, butter, and parsley served in their shells. Said to have a similar consistency to mussels or clams, though I found them to be pretty rubbery.
Scallops
But
are
again-
rubbery.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, okay, to be fair, I think snail farms would be a little easier if they wanted to do that.
Cockroaches.
If you really are hell bent on eating animals, cockroaches are the most environmentally friendly way.
Oh yeah. And people already do cockroach farms for their pet reptiles, so I would
Hmm.
imagine it's already known knowledge. But
Yeah.
people are just not brave enough.
And it reduces waste as well, because you can feed them with your waste, your food waste.
Hmm.
Sago Delight, or however this word is read, Southeast Asia. Edible sago grubs are said to be creamy tasting when raw or meaty and like bacon when cooked. Generally seasoned and flavored in the same way as the other Southeast Asian creepy crawly favorite, jingleed and served alongside. My friend gagged when she ate one and said it was pregnant, a braver being than me.
This reminds me of mealworms, which are also made to feed reptiles, which you basically, I think you just like get meal and put like a couple of them in there, and it suddenly all becomes a huge bag of them. So even easier to make mealworms. But I don't know if those are edible. These seem similar though.
Bro.
Stink bugs from Africa.
Hmm.
Used to flavor stews or eaten on their own, sting bugs are said to have a crunch to them and taste like a little like apple. Prepared by boiling, the bugs release defensive pheromones in a last-ditch attempt to survive, and while it hurts the eyes, it's no more successful than the onion's weak survival attempt.
Oh jeez, they're seeing onions like that.
Bro, the descriptions are more creepy than the actual dishes.
Yeah, like you see the thing, it's like okay, it can't be that bad. Then they make it sound so bad, man.
So now we can replace almonds with one type of bug. Now we can replace apples with another type of bug. See?
Yo.
Well, it
Checkmate,
only
vegans.
says taste a little like apple.
Yeah, that'll do.
So
I mean, to be fair, that's what they said about onions in holes. Tastes a little like chocolate, and suddenly everyone's biting into onions.
Hmm.
Mopane worms, Southern Africa.
Is everything now gonna be insects?
Maybe. I don't know.
Pretty much, I think so.
They had a top 10 that they made it to top 50. And one position was insects, and now they made 40 positions of insects. Okay.
A big, fat, juicy worm that's said to be full of meat. Although traditionally dried or smoked to preserve, they're usually rehydrated and cooked with tomato or chili sauce to flavor. According to an American couple who tried the dish on the Food Network, it tastes like honey barbecued chicken.
Okay.
Okay, question mark? As in, are you okay?
Yeah. Are they okay?
Oh my god.
No, nobody is.
Nobody is. And when you're not okay, you have a tequila worm.
Yeah, tequila worm. From Mexico. Not actually found in tequila, but rather its cheaper cousin, mezcal. It's said that the legendary hallucinogenic properties of the worm are pretty much non existent. All a marketing gimmick, you fools.
Imagine. You have this worm, and you just say to a bunch of junkies, listen, you eat this, you're gonna have the biggest trip of your life. And then they take it, they think they have a trip of their life, and they tell all their mates, and suddenly you sell alcohol with that bug in it. Profit.
Profit. Marmite or Vegemite. Sounds like a Pokemon. UK, New Zealand, and Australia. Made from yeast extract, a byproduct of brewing beer, Marmite, or Vegemite as it's known in Australia, is essentially the slurry from the bottom of the barrel that most breweries just throw away. It's a sticking brown paste with a concentrated salty flavor that's usually spread on toast or eaten with cheese.
I've never tried Marmite, so I can't comment. I was going to be cheeky and
Me
at the end of the list. I was going to say, "Oh, how many things were vegan from this list?"
Well, at least one.
At least one, yeah.
Pickled egg from UK.
What? That is a thing, actually. No, that is a thing. That actually is a thing. Oh no.
Pretty much summed up in the name, this is a hard-boiled egg that's been left to go cold and stuck in a jar of vinegar. The sour liquid penetrates right into the heart, meaning the powdery yolk in the center is uncomfortably sour.
Amazing. Why?
Bird's nest soup from Southeast Asia. This Asian delicacy is made from the nest of the swiftlet bird, who instead of collecting twigs for its bed, built it out of its own gummy saliva, which goes hard when exposed to air.
No, what? Just stop, bro. No.
Usually the built high up on cliff faces, harvesting them is a dangerous business and many people die each year. Whether its rubbery taste is worth this human sacrifice, I've yet to find out.
No. Just no.
Bird saliva. You eat bird saliva.
Boiled bird saliva.
That
Fun.
makes
Or
it so much
something.
better.
It's like soup.
Bro. I suppose people eat honey, and that's insect saliva. I mean, insect puke, actually. So,
Then we have, fugu. Many people know about this one, but yeah. This little delicacy has the potential to be deadly if prepared incorrectly. But you know what? Compared to all the previous points on this list, this is mild.
Yep.
Steak tartare? How is this word read? From
steak
France.
tartare. I've had it. I
Hmm.
can tell you exactly what it is. It's basically very, very, very finely chopped meat with some onion and some other relish formed into a steak-like sort of shape. It's raw. It's served raw. Sometimes it's served with a raw egg as well. I've had it before, and I enjoyed it before. Actually, I'm guilty.
So I would imagine there's obviously ways to like prevent the whole salmonella thing, because raw egg is probably the most of your worries.
It's prepared like to order, basically.
Mm.
So there is no time. I mean, oh, you talking like salmonella in general? Oh, I don't fucking know. Don't ask me. I've had it before, but don't ask me.
Cherry blossom meat from Japan. Cherry blossom meat is raw horse served either on its own or as part of sushi.
Not cool. I was gonna say cool, not cool.
Moving on to frog legs. France, Southeast Asia, and other.
Yeah, other.
Basically the back end and back legs of a frog, grilled, baked, fried, or stewed. Of the texture of chicken with a very faint taste of fish, it's one of okay, it's not mine. It's whoever wrote this article's apparently favorite kind of meats.
Oh, bro.
My dad has stories of eating frog legs just from hunting and such. Apparently, it's just chicken, basically.
But I mean,
So
I'm
is
looking at the
human.
pictures. It looks freaking deep fried.
If I deep fried you, Shatta, it would probably taste like chicken.
I am a pastry. I'm not sure about that.
It'll taste like bready chicken.
Kangaroo from Australia.
Now, hang on a minute. How is that any different to eating a cow? Why is this a weird thing? It's just a slaughtered animal that's being fried.
Yep.
You know? Why the distinction? Why is kangaroo weird and cow isn't?
Maybe because kangaroos are pretty much known to be in Australia. And it's interesting that they're eating their like icon animal. At least I would assume. I don't know who wrote this. Or why. Or how much they got paid.
The next one is crocodile as well. How is that different from eating a cow? A crocodile is not a symbol. It's just different. It's weird. It's because wherever the author is from doesn't have those animals as regular sort of stuff. They probably have cows and pigs and chickens.
Yep.
It's not actually any different.
Yeah, I agree with this.
Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of these are going to be reptiles as well.
Oh yeah, because the next one is southern fried rattlesnake from United States.
How is it different again? How is it different?
Favored in the southwestern United States, it's said to taste a little like frog legs.
Funny.
That's now a description.
And then that tastes like chicken.
What does chicken taste like? Like and the suffering of generations.
They like make fish. This look really bad, by the way. Whoever made it, they made it look really bad. I'm sure they can make it look better. Jesus.
Yeah, the next one is just, hey, put another animal other than cow, pig, or chicken. Because the next one is actually guinea pig.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that actually looks not okay.
People eat guinea pigs?
What people don't eat? Which animals?
Precisely. Yeah, no, that's no weird.
Like even poisonous ones.
Yeah.
I think the weird part of this is the presentation. Like, this is not cool.
This is not cool.
The presentation is not cool.
The presentation is not cool. Okay.
Yeah. The plating.
I could go mental on you, but I'm not gonna. I'll preserve my vegan energy for later.
from China,
Yes.
Singapore, and United States.
Turtle soup.
Made using the meat, skin, and skin innards of the soft-shell turtle in East Asia or the snapping turtle in the United States, this is considered something of a Chinese delicacy.
Yeah.
Starfish from China. Served dry and covered in hard and spiny armor, this isn't a snack you want to bite into. According to online accounts, you want to break off a leg and peel open the skin to get all the green-colored meat inside.
Green-colored meat?
Okay, but why did they make this look like a ritual? Like it looks like it's being sacrificed.
To whom? Sacrifice to whom?
I don't know.
To-
To the
to
sponge
China.
gods. The sponge
To
gods.
Cthulhu, of course. Cthulhu. Wow.
Rocky Mountain oysters from United States.
How is that
God.
different to regular oysters? What?
Despite the
Yeah.
name, these aren't actually oysters at all.
What are they then?
Oh.
They are bull testicles deep in a batter of flour, pepper, and salt.
Well then.
That's a different story.
Yeah. That could have been top 10. Jesus.
Oh, bro.
I guess it's good they use a part of the animal that would otherwise be wasted.
Yeah, Chateau, you like that stuff, huh?
No comments.
In Japan, it might come up. In Japan, they also eat the long round bit as well.
And fish semen.
I was trying to like walk around it, and you were like, "Nope, fish semen. Let's go."
Yup.
Balut,
This
or
one's
I
my
don't know how to
bro.
read this, from Philippines.
What's bro?
A
That's
developing
so
duck
messed up.
embryo that's boiled alive in its shell. A common street food and is usually served with beers.
Common street food. Okay. Rick, man.
Technically speaking, that duck suffered less than if it would hatch and then get killed later, because
Yeah,
the neural
Still
system
why?
wasn't fully developed. Still, why?
because you have some eggs that have been... How is it called? That have the freaking embryos in them?
Fertilized
Yeah.
eggs. Still why?
Still why?
Still why?
Dragon in the Flame of Desire.
Oh
Do you
wow,
know
it
what this
sounds
is?
awesome. I don't know.
The
I'm
rather
afraid.
elaborate name above can be simplified down to yak's penis.
We were thankfully not given an image for this.
Oh wait, what was it called again? Dragon in the Flame of Desire. That's one way to explain a yak's dick that you then ingest. Sounds big
Very
gay, not gonna
poetic.
lie.
Very poetic for a dick.
No, it's like, when
Yeah.
you can't make the freaking names on your menu NSFW, so you gotta improvise.
Bro.
Shirako from Japan. Another
That
fancy
looks so
name for an
bad.
animal's reproductive organs.
Oh?
Shirako is essentially a cod's sperm sac.
Shut up, why?
No comment.
I'm the one who's inflicting this on you.
Shadow, you are banned. That's it.
Jesus.
And then we have Cobra Heart from Vietnam.
You know what? I feel like this one is just a guy flexing on his like enemies.
So they
Is it
slit the
nothing more?
struggling poor creature open right in front of you and place its still beating heart into a shot glass of its own blood.
Oh, bro. Okay, no, that's a bit too much.
I think I've heard of like a lot of Vietnamese food where they eat a lot of the stuff alive just as a sort of luxury thing, which is Not cool.
Bro.
How is it freaking
Bro.
called? Red. Max,
What?
you know.
Kasumarzu?
Okay.
It's a cheese, right?
Yeah, also known
Got-
as maggot cheese. This traditional
Oh,
Sardinian
bro.
dish is sheep's milk cheese, famous for containing live insect larvae. Apparently, these wiggling little maggots are supposed to enhance the flavor, but are prone to jump when they panic, so watch your eyes.
Oh my god.
Some people
Release
suffocate them
me.
or kill the beasties in the fridge before consuming, but others go for the live version. Wow. Sometimes they survive the stomach and burrow into your intestines. Nice.
No.
¿Por qué?
Why?
¿Por qué?
Nice. Nice. Yin yang fish from China.
Is that a video?
This is
I
a
don't like
video,
it.
but it says that this is very cruel, truly horrific stuff.
Then no.
Do I read this? Close your ears if you don't
I'm
hear
afraid.
this. So, a dish of extreme cruelty. Yin yang fish is a fish that has been deep fried and kept alive.
First of all, how? Second of all, why? One more reason to be vegan.
Sonakji? Am I read? I can't read anyway. A little one that ranks high on the cruelty scale. This dish involves hacking the tentacles off a baby octopus and serving them up to the customer, still wriggling. Well, on the other hand, from what I know, well, I don't know about tentacles, but some meat still can move even when the creature's dead. So there are actually
Yeah.
videos like on YouTube, etc., from like some meat, especially fish, just suddenly starting to move, even if it's like dead. Because meat can do that apparently.
I think it was a while back, or maybe even recently, but there were horrible word as well. Mukbang people that basically just ate on camera, and they would eat animals alive, and people were really not okay with that. Obviously, not okay with that. But it was a big deal.
So my question is, why are they okay with slaughtering the animal first and then eating it later? But whatever.
Drunken shrimp from China.
Cool.
Shrimp served both living and drunk, stunned in a strong liquor called baiju. Diners usually bite the head off first before consuming the body.
I think the biggest thing about all of these is that people know they are alive and that they are actively going to end them before directly consuming them.
What's the difference?
That they are doing it themselves.
You still end alive. You either order someone else to do it or you do it yourself. What's the difference?
The difference is that it takes a specific kind of person to do it actively as part of a meal, like for fun, because you don't have to do this. It's not necessary. So people do it.
Somebody has to kill the animal.
Somebody does, but
well, so
if you're given the choice
logic
between you doing it yourself or someone else doing it for you, when you
I'd
have
rather
the
not
choice,
kill an animal.
Right.
That's it.
But people are choosing this over any other method, and that's what's messed up. Is that these people are choosing this?
I don't see a difference. I'm sorry, I don't see a difference.
I suppose some people would
slaughter is slaughter.
Some people would argue, which I myself would not agree with, but perhaps some people would argue that, hey, when they kill animals, they kill them fast.
They don't. unfortunately. But we're not getting into that.
So, oh yeah,
Unless
this I have
unless we
heard
are.
of. Shark fin soup from China.
Again, very cruel.
The fact that their fins are hacked from the shark's still living bodies before they are thrown back into the sea means it's definitely not worth it for the dried and congealed strands in some chicken broth. But yeah, I have heard about this.
Yeah.
Bushmeat
Just
from
imagine.
Africa. Covering all manner of animals from the African plains, bushmeat includes flesh of wildlife like giraffe, lemurs, and even apes. It's a strange one considering how close an apes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's also believed to spread Ebola and may be the part of the reason for the current outbreak. Current outbreak was it written in 2014?
Something like that.
And I have whale. I wouldn't say this is too weird. Many cultures eat whales. Do
It
they
might
not?
be the method. Maybe it's the method they use.
Why did they choose this picture? Anyway, I suppose, yeah, then they have, oh, look, animal other than cow sugar picking. What the?
Yeah.
Cow
Dog.
sugar picking.
Yeah, you...
Picking.
Oh, God. Nice.
Oh,
But yeah, it's
jeez.
dog.
Yep.
And then we have cat.
Well, for the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh my god, they eat our pets. There is no difference between a
Yeah.
cat and a cow.
Or a fish.
Yep. Animal's an animal.
Yeah, from that point, no. Though, technically, eating predators is even less, like, what, environmentally friendly than eating animals that
Yes.
eat plants.
Yes. That's right. Because you need to provide meat, which already is extremely inefficient and ethically questionable.
So that was it for the list.
Shadow, I love you, but today I absolutely hate you.
Understandable.
That was so gross.
I mean, that's what the list was called, no? Oh,
Yeah.
it was weird foods, not gross foods.
Now, I will make a snarky remark and ask how many of those things were vegan. 1.
Oh,
That's
I was
it.
gonna say the cheese, but no, the cheese had maggots.
And it's not vegan because it's milk, isn't it?
Ooh.
So, would you rather eat a soy burger or cheese with maggots? Mm.
If I had a soy burger.
You don't have them yet in Russia.
I mean, I suppose there are some I have seen, like, soy. Oh yeah, I suppose I have seen them, like, in a store, but not in, like, fast food.
Oh yeah, no, we do actually have them. McDonald's actually,
Was
I
it
think
Burger King?
uh,
Or
I
McDonald's?
think all of the big chains
They
have
don't.
a vegan option now in UK.
Here
Where I
they
am.
don't. Well,
Yeah,
soon they
yet.
won't even be here anyway, so.
Yeah. It does change. It changes quite a bit. McDonald's has a vegan burger called McPlant. Burger King has a vegan burger.
I think it's called the Impossible Burger, which the Impossible brand is its own meat replacement thing.
KFC has a pseudo chicken royale. Yeah.
Wait, does it?
Yes.
If KFC has replacement chicken, I'm down for that. I need to check that in my area.
UK does, but then UK is basically a haven for anything vegan. So US might be behind it.
Hmm.
Yeah, UK is huge for that stuff. And again, just like with my story with the sausage rolls and all that, the Mac plant is pretty much indistinguishable from a Big Mac, despite being vegan.
I suppose out of like, I'm pretty sure this is vegan, right? Or is it not?
What
Which
is?
could be like a weird food too. The tea mushroom, you know?
Oh, kombucha.
Yeah.
Yes, that is vegan. Yeah. It's fermented tea, but for fermentation, you use a fungus
Yep.
called what's the name of it?
Uh,
God damn it.
Manchurian mushroom.
Manchuria is a region of China. No, the
Is
mushroom
it
itself. Yeah, go on.
SCOBY?
Yes,
Or is that just that's the mother, I guess.
SCOBY.
It's pretty much like
SCOBY.
yeast.
Yes, and that is used to ferment tea with a lot of sugar. Yeah, that's how kombucha is made, and it's naturally sparkly because of it as well.
And then you can reuse
Yes,
the result to recreate and
yes,
just keep going, keep making more.
that's right.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, kombucha is a thing, but kombucha is just like it's fermented food, just like gherkins and pickled onion and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I was quite grossed out when my fiance was having her own SCOBY at home and making her own kombucha. Just
I mean,
looking at it. You mean
yeah, it
what?
does look gross, but you have to be oddly clean with the whole process because it can kill the yeast.
Yes, you have to be very careful with it. Yeah, kombucha is a thing. In most, I mean, maybe not most, in a lot of more hippie, I suppose, restaurants in Bristol at least, you can get kombucha, just like you would, get Pepsi or anything else.
So there we go. We have suffered for this.
MG, yes, honestly, wow. A bit of empathy would be useful, especially towards the last few bits on the list. Just a tiny bit of thought will be amazing.
Mm.
What is that creature going through? And who is causing it? Oh, it's me.
I feel like that's what I meant, though. Like, there's a disconnect when it comes to the food that's on your plate and the process it went through, whereas those people were making them go through the process immediately, right there. So there was no disconnect. They were slaughtering the animal themselves.
I see what you're saying. I think there is a disconnect. I agree, and
Especially with stuff like sausages.
yeah, because
It doesn't
and
even look like animal parts.
Yeah,
like food. It doesn't look like food, frankly.
Nah, vegan sausages are the best. Even the name meat, right? It's animals. It's just animals. You eat animals. You just disguise it as something else. You create this barrier between what it actually is and what you think it is. It's not meat. It's animals. And that disconnect that's something that I realized I had, and I realized I'm a hypocrite for having that disconnect, and I chose to not be a hypocrite, and I got rid of that disconnect. I realized what exactly is happening, I researched what exactly is happening in places that provide animals, and I decided not to support it anymore.
I will say it gets even worse when, especially here in America, you get so much processing of these quote unquote meat products to
Mhm.
where they don't look like food, but you cook them and they're edible, and so that's that. It's just easy meal for cheap, I guess. But
Yeah,
you really don't think about what goes into it.
you can also do the same with soy.
Mm.
Or I didn't talk about it. Or some fungus. So like, there's a company called Corn, Quorn in UK that makes meat replacements used, and they use fungus protein. Eh,
Also, neither of you have mentioned tofu. Tofu is like
I
the
mentioned
closest thing
tofu.
we got here.
There is different types of tofu though. So some tofu I also dislike, and you don't need tofu. It's not something that you need per se, but it's good. It's high in protein,
Yeah.
and depending on the type of tofu, you can make some really interesting stuff with it. So like silky tofu, that like I suppose the most basic one, the one that everybody thinks is disgusting, and I kind of agree. You can make scrambled eggs with them. Obviously, not scrambled eggs, but like something that kind of tastes like scrambled eggs.
Didn't you mention that there was like not only egg replacement, but like egg white replacement?
No, like you scrambled it on a pan. You add some spices to make it look and taste like scrambled eggs, and then it tastes like scrambled eggs.
Mm. Okay, so yeah, I've heard of this too, but apparently aquafaba is
Oh
an egg
yeah,
white replacement.
it can be
Yeah,
used
yeah.
for vegan mayonnaise.
Yeah,
Aquafaba
that's
is
what I had
basically,
heard it for.
it's water from chickpeas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've used it before. Mm.
Yeah.
Eh,
So knowledge.
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 Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Not really nice. I just got reminded of the cruelty of humankind, and I hate that when it happens. It
My
always
cat's trying to
happens.
eat my phone.
I sound to eat your phone. What?
He's hungry, and when they're hungry, like both of them, they just start munching on random things. And I suppose the phone is very close, so now this is happening.
Mm.
So, for example, wires, the best thing to munch on, am I right? That's why I've
Yeah.
put some lemon juice on them. And now he seems to not be touching the ones I actually did that to.
Interesting solution. I wouldn't know of
Also,
a
this
better
thing
one,
is
but
the best.
yes.
You
So I
just
guess as a conclusion to all our topics,
Mm.
consider if what you're eating is worth it.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, yeah. That fits both mine and your subject, and Shadows as well.
that's
That's
a good
very
one.
true. Yeah, consider if what you're eating is worth it. Whether that be calories or environmental impact or anything else, just consider it. Just think about what you eat. Yeah, because it's easy to go into like auto mode, like in automatic. Oh, I've been eating this since I was little. I'm used to it, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. Maybe it's beneficial to stop for a second and think. Maybe drinking soda each day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner isn't the best. You know,
Yeah. Just maybe.
just maybe.
So knowledge?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Is this how we end?
Yes.
Yep.
I am feeding the cat the soy.
The pets and veganism is a big subject actually in the vegan community. I feed my cats tuna or chicken and stuff because cats are obligatory. What do you call it when you only eat meat?
Predators?
No, not predators.
Carnivores.
Carnivores. There we go. They have to eat meat. It's just there is certain vitamins, minerals, stuff that they can only take from meat. They don't produce themselves. They have to eat meat to survive, or to rather, they have to eat meat to be healthy. That's why I will do that. Humans, however, do not have the same requirement. They can very easily live off plants only.
Or just ramen, as many
Or
college
just
students would say.
yeah, fueled by ramen. Rightio.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, what?
I was gonna say, as a young person, your body can take so much
Yeah.
without like consequences. But
And then you
like
get
you should.
into your 20s.
Yeah, you gotta take care of that fast before it catches up to you.
Mm. I must say that beside that little incident with malnutrition with B12 vitamin, I don't think I've ever felt any better than I do now.
Mm.
And I could easily just say, "Oh, it's because I went vegan." No, I think the reasoning I feel better is because I started realizing what I eat. I started like taking like care of that and learning about nutrition in general. So I think going vegan was what sparked my interest in nutrition, and my knowledge of nutrition was what actually made me feel better. Think about what you eat. Chateau, you. Just think about
Yep.
what you eat. Yeah.
So, do we end the stream here?
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Okay, who is our target? Do we just go to triple raid?
Who's the next one to die? Do you
Yeah.
want to die?
Who is
Lucia, why
today's
did he-
target?
He's
Target
trying to eat my
quiet.
freaking soy, but these are. The things are too big for him to eat. Do not eat my phone!
Jesus. Okay, dude. Let's look for the target.
I'm pretty sure Hayden should be streaming usually on. Do not eat the wire too.
He's
Or-
not.
Oh.
Harvey has just started streaming.
Oh, it's Ori too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yup.
I'm interested.
I guess we found the target.
He did.
Okay.
She's so like full of energy and so
Lucia.
bubbly and all that. It's mad. Where does she get it from? I don't understand. How can one be so energetic?
I don't know. Same questions could be asked about Clammy, in my opinion. But
Yes!
then Clammy also has a condition, so he sleeps for like 18 hours a day sometimes.
Yes.
Not that it should influence his energy all the other times. But yeah.
Right. I did press the button, so the countdown is going on, so we better like do it swiftly.
Bye everyone. See you.
Wait, no.
Podcast.
We have to do 3 to 1. 3 to 1. We have to do that.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, no, it has to be synchronized. It has to be like bam, 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 rapid fire.
3.
Are you guys ready? Oh my god, let's go. All right, you count down.
3, 2, 1. Press the button.